We just had a great State of the State address by Governor Brownback. He addressed a lot of issues, most of which were really very positive for Kansas. We have to keep in mind that Kansas is coming out of a recession that is nationwide. However, Kansas also had a very difficult time in that in the last 10 years, private enterprise in Kansas didn't add any jobs. In fact, they lost a couple. But on the public side, the public payroll, that expanded. What that means is that people who are getting paychecks signed by the taxpayers were increasing, but the taxpayers who were actually covering those checks were decreasing. That led to a very difficult economic situation in Kansas, more taxes, and a business unfriendly situation where we weren't attracting more businesses and we weren't attracting more people into the state. That's been turned around decisively. We now have a flat and slightly reducing public payroll, a greatly increasing, right now percentage-wise, private payroll, and we have businesses coming into the state, people coming to the state, and it looks like we're headed back for real prosperity. The net result of that is the Kansas state revenues and revenues to local governments are beginning to turn around and come back. That's good, but better than that is that governments at all levels have been cutting, trimming back, consolidating, all of the things that you would expect that would happen in a recession. But as we've come out of the recession, we're continuing to hold the discipline that we need to have so that the taxpayers of Kansas are getting full value for their dollars. That brings us to another very difficult and interesting point, and that is the paying for the K through 12 education, kindergarten through 12th grade. Kansas spends over 50% of the state general fund on K-12 education. That's a lot of money, over $3 billion. It's number 4 in the entire country. We're the 4th highest state in the amount of our budget that we spend on K-12 education. That money goes directly to the school districts. They also have locally raised money and federal money, and they spend that money for the educational needs of their districts. They know those needs, they know the children, they know what they have to do, and appropriately, they have the power to do it. But we're spending as a state over $12,000 per student. We're spending over $3 billion altogether. I think we're spending enough money. What we need to do now is we need to make sure that that money is distributed properly and that it's being used properly. However, we've got a court case coming down very soon. Could be today, it could be in several months. And that's the Gannon case. The school districts, some of them, are suing the state for, well, actually, they're asking for $1 billion more. And as a minimum, they're asking for just under $500 million more. This is at a time when the school districts have, in their reserves, collectively, over $1.7 billion that they haven't spent. This amount goes up every year. Year after year, that amount in reserve continues to increase. They're not spending it, they're saving it. That's up to them. They can do that. And it may be a prudent thing, but they're not short money. What they are short of is the results that we'd like to see. We have not seen the improvement in test scores. We have not seen an improvement in high school graduation rates, and we are very much concerned about that. But again, that's the local school board's responsibility. I would hope they would be able to address that and get us better education within our school districts, rather than spending their time and taxpayer money on suing the state for more money when they're already way over what they can spend now. Thank you so much.